How should I, 24F, break up with my BF, 27M, when he's talking about marriage? So I, 24F, am dating a guy, 27M, since 2.5 years and now he is talking about marriage.
The thing is, he has cheated on me many times in beginning of our relationship, and I was so in love that I forgave him after he begged me.
He has cheated and lied to me many times and with many girls.
I know he has changed now. He doesn't cheat on me anymore.
I think it's because he has played the field and now he wants to settle. He does everything that an ideal partner should do. I did continue to date him after getting cheated on because I was getting manipulated by his lie and he was also rude to me. I don't know what made me draw back to him every time. But in present everything is fine. He thinks I've forgiven and forgotten about everything. But I have not. I don't want to spend my life with the person who treated me like shit even though it was in past. Even though he's great now and everything's good, but I just don't want to marry him.
So how do I break up with him? Like, what reason should I give?
Plus he does apologize to me every time I bring up shit he did to me in past.
You just say you're breaking up with him because you don't feel compatible anymore, you've fallen out of love, and you don't want to marry him.
You don't need a lengthy speech.
Just keep it simple and stand strong. Don't let him manipulate you again. You don't have to give him a reason beyond, "This isn't working for me." Or, if you want to give him some explanation, "As I've processed your cheating, I've come to understand that trust and respect are important to me in a relationship and I can't have that with you."
And this is the truth.
You can't have a relationship of love, trust, and respect with a cheater. Why on earth would you marry one? The longer you stay with him, the longer you aren't healing and out there meeting decent men who will appreciate you. Cheaters and abusers are manipulative. That's what can draw you back. He manipulates you to get what he wants. If you decide to end things, go no contact. Don't give him the chance to start manipulating you.
You have been mentioning marriage and I actually feel differently. I don't want to marry you and I'm breaking up.
Like, what reason should I give? You don't actually need to give any reasons. Just tell him, "We're over." Any reason you give him is just a point he can argue about or ask forgiveness for, to manipulate you into staying. The best advice I can give as someone who ended his long-term relationship very recently: you don't need their allowance to break up.
Just wait, process, make sure not to regret later, and when you are totally sure of your final decision, cut the rope. Be selfish sometimes. He didn't pity you and give a fuck about your feelings while he was making out with other people, did he?
God, I hate cheaters. Don't forgive that SHT, y'all.
The problem is you can never trust that he is telling you the truth.
How can you know if he is faithful or doing a better job of hiding his cheating? My 25M girlfriend, 25F, has a habit of fat-shaming people. Time to move on?
So I've been with my girlfriend for a little over 2 years. Outside of this issue, she is a really great person.
But this habit makes her a seriously awful human being.
She's obsessed with making comments about people's weight, including, especially, little children.
She can sometimes be unbelievably cruel and disgusting, a borderline psychopath, when she makes such bad comments. Earlier this year she made me furious when she made fun of a special needs kid who was overweight at a restaurant.
I was extremely angry. I unleashed on her in public, and broke up with her in that moment. She then kept crying and apologizing for weeks, promising to be better and seeking therapy. I caved because I thought she deserved another chance. 4 months later, she's still the same.
She's still the same hateful bully that I despise.
I can't believe this. A grown adult who takes pleasure in tormenting people about their weight. When she does this, I feel so much hate for her.
Then she gets manipulated by crying and saying it's her childhood trauma and whatever, but I no longer believe this crap.
She makes me feel guilty, but I think I'm done with her. I want to have kids and I think it's a bad idea to make her their mother.
Any thoughts? Saying it's childhood trauma is just her saying it won't ever change.
It's pathological. Fuck that. Yeah, childhood trauma is when you are suffering. Making other people suffer is their childhood trauma. No childhood trauma could justify her being this mean.
Fat shaming is cruel and traumatizing. Break up with her already.
She needs to shut up. What an awful person.
Why are you even questioning this?
She had a second chance.
You can't take her anywhere because she can't behave herself.
In my book, a pattern of unkindness and disrespect is a total deal-breaker. She sounds like the annoying influencer type.
Imagine if y'all had a baby and the baby didn't meet her expectations.
TL. DR, I despise my partner. Should I keep dating them?
Dude, are you for real?
No shit, you should dump her.
You don't respect her because she's trash. Why stay? My 30F boyfriend, 33M, texting 18-year-old girls. What to do? Yesterday, I, 30F, found out my boyfriend, 33M, of 9 months has been texting 18-year-old girls from his gym.
I saw it on his phone when we were talking. He didn't try to hide anything and acted like it was totally normal. I know he loves helping people and wants to be there for everyone, but this seems very inappropriate to me. He is basically giving them relationship advice and assuring them that they are wonderful and need to be themselves. He keeps telling me that nothing was ill-intended. I want to believe him so bad, but he told me he deleted the chat and her number once I told him I was uncomfortable about the situation. And for the cherry on top, he called her sweetheart in the text, which is what he calls me. He says he is sorry and sees how inappropriate it was.
But today he has turned off his phone location and I have not heard from him. He does struggle with mental health and I'm worried I may have pushed him into a dark place. I suppose I'm asking if anyone has dealt with this before? Can any men chime in and assure me that this is purely platonic and not ill-natured?
Also, how do we move on from this in a healthy way?
I'm really struggling and need help.
Too long did not read. Boyfriend texting with 18-year-old girl.
Says it's purely to help her with relationship problems. Everything has been deleted. Any advice?
Edit. This is a long-distance relationship. Both families heavily involved due to our culture. It's a lot. Odd he's developing friendships with young women from the gym. I'd love to tell you that it's just friendly. I really would. Come on though. A 30-year-old guy talking to gym-fit, 18-year-old girls. He's trying to smash and would do so given half a chance. For the record, I'm a guy the same age as him.
How did he end up with their numbers?
What kind of relationship advice are they after? I dunno, it feels pretty weird for me. There is no reason for your 33-year-old husband, boyfriend to be interacting with 18-year-olds. What made him comfortable enough to get their numbers? Why does he think it's okay to be texting people that much younger than him relationship advice, especially when they are not directly related to him? He is creepy and I hope he is not grooming those young women.
My dad made me leave the gym setting BCZ of guys like your boyfriend who just want to help and be friends, and I'm 19. Humans are not without intention. I hope you know there should be at least some suspicion. It's healthy, and if y'all are monogamous should hold him accountable for what relationships he has.
He is 33. He should not be near 18 years old.
Sorry, but if my dog there tells me about her 33 male gym friend giving her love advice, I would tell her that he clearly wants to get in her pants.
I mean, let's be real. I talk to people that are way younger and it is clear we can't be friends on the same level because they are still very childish.
And that's how it should be. They have friends in their age range.
This dynamic is weird. She is not family and he is not a teacher, trainer, mentor. So he should not be in any way involved privately. That sounds like groomer shit to me.
My 40F wife has been taking my 44 male ADHD meds. What should I do?
So let me start by saying I don't like doing this, putting my life online. I'm old school, but I genuinely can't take this shit anymore.
My wife started taking my meds last year. I ended up losing a job because I didn't have them and couldn't perform well. I told her she has to get meds for her own.
She finally did and it stopped. For a couple weeks. She said she didn't have enough and took more. The next month she had her meds increased and still took mine. I told her I can't keep doing this, told her I felt she didn't love me and she cried and said she would stop. I started a new job not long after and what you know, I was out of my meds again. I get 10 mg by my dose is 60 mg a day. I get 180 a month and most days only take 2-4. She takes so many of mine I'm mostly out in 2 weeks. I couldn't learn the new job and got fired there too. Fuck me right. At this point I'm just defeated. So it's been several months. We got evicted from our house, living in a 2-week cabin and she's the only one working. I have been having interviews lately and things are getting better. So I thought. Filled my meds 2 weeks ago and I have 1/3 left yesterday. I couldn't believe it. She's recently been telling me how she cries for me and how she notices I've been wanting to do better for us, and I find this out. I spoke to her last night and she said the same shit. I feel like shit and blah blah. I told her you either need rehab, NA, or I'm calling the cops at this point.
I'm on probation, I can't support this. That's why I got on meds, because I couldn't control my impulsiveness and emotions, and this actually works.
I was going to put this up at night but deleted it.
She tells me today I'm not there for her emotionally or mentally, even though I try to be supportive and talk to her about everything.
She's the one that barely talks to me. I actually broke up with her last year over the lack of communication before she started taking my meds. Today she tells me taking the meds is the only thing getting her through the day since she can't talk to anyone. Lol. What a hoot. Now she wants to break up.
So you want to take all my meds, then leave me for you being triggered because I can't keep a damn job because you take my meds? Just by the way, before this I was at my last job over a year, and the 2 jobs before that 5 years each. I only quit to do better and go to school, and I had another job offer and it just didn't pan out, you can say.
I'm about to lose it. I want to yell and cry and call the cops and lock her up. I love her more than anything next to my 7-year-old son and can't believe she's done this. Especially since she's in training as a drug recovery counselor. Funny, huh?
Advice?
Too long did not read.
Wife took my ADHD meds, continuously, which got me fired and now blames it on me and wants to leave. Advice? Do not leave your meds where she has access to them. Buy a lockbox for them as a stopgap. But this is a bigger issue.
The reality is with ADHD it's going to be harder for us to do the executive function steps to approach the bigger problem. So step 1, get a
lockbox for your meds. You can't solve anything until you're functioning.
Your wife is an addict.
Actually, things like training as a drug recovery counselor and lashing out and threatening to leave you when you won't be supplying anymore make perfect sense.
I was an addict once. Not so good times. I'd cut her out of your life, but man, easier said than done, huh? Your wife needs serious help. She's a drug addict.
My ex-husband used to steal my prescription pain medication. After the first time it happened, I bought a lockbox, but he used to search for and find the key, no matter where I'd hidden it.
Finally, I started wearing it on a chain around my neck. He's my ex for that and other good reasons. Blaming you and deflecting the issues are all classic addict behaviors. A lockbox is a good temporary measure, but the root of the problem needs to be addressed. There is no way this woman should be counseling drug addicts in her present state. Talk about hypocrisy. This is just ridiculous. 1. Go buy a lockbox. 2. Boot your wife out. She needs help. You're allowing and enabling this. Stop it. If anyone ever took my ADHD meds, it would be grounds for a breakup. She's basically telling you that her recreational addiction needs trump your actual diagnosis and healthcare needs, and she doesn't care. Lock them up, and then either get her help or let her know that was a deal breaker.